My name is Paula Deming from the board game YouTube series Things Get Dicey and the board game podcast This Game is Broken. And I'm here with Jacob Wisniewski. I feel like it wasn't as good as when I was
It,
practicing, but
it was good.
thank you,
Wisniewski,
Jacob.
Wisniewski.
Wisniewski from,
Oh, that's
yes, from Glass Cannon Unplugged. And I'm so excited to ask you a bunch of questions today about the upcoming Apex Legends board game. Okay, Jacob, hit me with it. What can we expect from Apex Legends, the board game?
well, Paula. First, I'm really happy that you're here with us.
Yeah, I'm excited to
Second,
be here.
we can expect bucket loads of fun. I mean, what is Apex Legends? It's dynamic action.
Mhm.
Um, it's a lot of colorful, wonderful legends that we all love and appreciate about this IP. And you can expect the same from the board game.
So, are there any games out there that you would say are similar to this one that already exist?
Uh, it could be said like this. There's a lot of skirmish games, a lot of
Hmm.
tactical skirmishers, but many of them have an issue, which is high entry point,
Yeah.
especially with miniatures like books that are 50 or above pages long. And what we're addressing here with Apex Legends, the board game, is the accessibility to the skirmish genre.
Hmm. Okay, so thinking of the source material in Apex Legends, the maps are massive
Yeah.
and have a ton of variation. So, how is that reflected in the board game?
I'm really glad you've asked that question. This is the first thing that the authors and our devs sat to around the round table and discussed.
Hmm.
Um, and we decided that while adapting a title, and we always must look on what's the essence of it.
Right.
And the essence of Apex is that final ring, it's that final zone when only the best teams have survived.
Hmm.
And there's this last standoff between them.
Hmm.
So in the board game, you and all the other players will be in that final zone. Of course, the ring will still shrink and force you into not necessarily the best positions, but uh, you've already come a certain way from the whole map, which will be reflected by your choices for the pre-game.
Got it.
Uh, yeah.
Hmm.
So we want to tell the story because each game of Apex Legends, you can say that choosing the drop zone, where you enter, with whom you are in the team, what legends are there, it's all a story. And we want to tell that in the board game as well. So with a very quick but very witty pre-game mechanics, you'll be able to reflect that before you enter that final zone in the ring.
So it's basically like distilling down the Apex
Perfectly
Legends
said.
experience right into those kind of most exciting final moments where it's just a few of you left.
Yes,
That's cool.
exactly.
Okay, so it's got to have miniatures, right? Talk to me about the miniatures. How,
We
because
don't
that's
have
what
that much
everyone really
time.
wants to know, right? Everyone wants to know about the miniatures.
Yeah, we're all about that plastic wonders, aren't we?
Yes.
So, with how beautiful the 3D models are in the video game, we knew we needed to do them justice.
Hmm.
And we went up with the scale of the miniatures and
Hmm.
pumped them from the usual 28-32 millimeters to the 40 millimeters scale. Yeah. So this is how we can, show all the tiny epic details that are on those miniatures, grenades, all the accessories of each legend. Yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be epic.
40 millimeters is big. So,
Yeah.
okay, I'm picturing now, like, how much table space is this going to take up? Do I need, like, to add a
A
room to my house to
separate
be able to play
apartment?
it? Yeah, like,
No.
how are we going to make this work?
Okay, so basically, this is something that we're solving with the
Hmm.
devs team for the last year or so, and we came up with what we think is the perfect ratio for the map. So it's going to be 4 tiles
Hmm.
um, for the basic variant of the game for 2 to 4 players, and with cardboard buildings that will be included in each core box. And we're making those cardboard buildings to reflect the incredible difference of terrain in each
Hmm.
map, the plenty of visual eye candy that you have in video game Apex. So those cardboard buildings will be foldable, so they can be very quickly accessed, and the map can be built in a matter of
That's cool.
several minutes. Um, and the map is going to fit on a regular gaming table. I'd say 4 by 4 feet, maybe a bit bigger, but not much
Okay.
than that.
Okay. And now you mentioned earlier, and I want to go back to it just a little bit, the ring kind of
Yeah.
closing in on everyone. So is how is that going to put pressure on the players in the game? Is it going to feel like it does in the original Apex Legends?
Yes, you've got that right with the ring. It will start in the 4 corners of the map as you enter the game, just after you've done the pre-game
Hmm.
mechanic. And then the ring will shrink based on a deck of cards that show you where each corner will be moving, so
Okay.
that in the final rounds, the ring is much smaller, forcing players basically to a deadly standoff. And the damage that you will receive while being outside of the ring will increase after a certain point of the game.
So you really want to integrate into your strategy, your plan for, okay, I know the ring is going to be moving here at this point in the game. I need to make sure that I have gotten myself into
Exactly.
a safe zone. Okay, so let's pretend for a minute that I am not one of the 100 million strong player base of Apex Legends. We'll just pretend that I've never played it. What is there in this board game for me?
A valley of plenty, I'd say. This game is tactically challenging.
Hmm.
It's a skirmisher where teams of legends, characters with unique abilities,
Hmm.
uh, are in a deadly face-off. I mean, how cool is that? This is all based on battle royale. So I don't need to say, like, if you're not in the 100 million Apex Legends fan base, you've definitely heard of battle royale. So
Yes.
what we're bringing here to the tabletop is a true battle royale experience in the form of a wonderfully crafted board game that's easy to access because of quick setup
Hmm.
and rules that are composed in a way that can be accessed in the iceberg structure, I'd say. So starting from small and going wider.
Okay.
And if you're a more experienced player and you're here for the organized play and the tournaments thrill, this is also something for you, because with easy access,
Hmm.
let's not mix up easy access with too simple
Right.
or not complex enough. We want to introduce a competitive mode for the game with organized play at some later stages of the project. We even have Michael Duda, who's Warhammer 40K world champion and team champion
Oh,
from
that's cool.
Poland. Yeah, who's helping us to write the rules for the tournaments and to come up with the whole tournament system. And he's been playing more than dozens of competitive games, and his knowledge is absolutely coming in handy here. Also, me and half of our devs in the Glass Cannon Unplugged
Hmm.
team are avid wargamers playing skirmish games. So we'll definitely be adding something that's right down our own alley.
That's really cool. So, we've got something you don't need to know about Apex Legends really to be able to enjoy the game. If you do know, if you're experienced in this kind of game, there's competitive play coming, which is really cool. But I also know that there are going to be a lot of people who want to play just the game at home with their
Oh yeah,
friends without like having to find a board game club or convention to spend all day at. Is that something that they're going to be able to
yes,
do?
definitely. So when you adapt a title, when you approach creating especially a board game from such a ginormous and well kept IP as
Yeah.
Apex Legends, you need to pay attention and homage to all of its fans.
Hmm.
I know that Apex Legends is, among other video games, a very tactical one where you really need to focus and really think your strategies, your
Yeah.
moves. Otherwise, you're basically dead after a few minutes of the game. But we know that we're reaching to a very wide audience. And with this wide audience, who might have not played a board game in their life
Yeah.
before, we've been constructing the system. This is why I'm not saying it's a just a board game. It's a
Hmm.
whole system, and
Yeah.
it's modular. And what we'll be starting with in the core box will be more than enough for you to have a session with your friends at home. Everything you need will be inside the core box. And if you want to broaden the experience, get more legends, get different play modes, different maps, variations, scenarios, and so on. You will be able to do so with the expansions that we have planned for not only this campaign but years to come.
Wow. And so how many people can play Apex Legends, the board game, at one time? What's the player count for it?
Okay, so for the core box, it's two. I almost said one. There's
I
no
like,
solo
is
mode.
there a solo mode? I like solo mode. So
Not yet, but we're friends with David Turchi, so who knows?
hey, cross our fingers though.
So 2 to 4 people will be able to have tons of fun playing the game from the core box. But we already have a fifth and sixth player expansion planned,
Oh,
which will be
cool.
combined. So you'll be able to play in 2 teams of 3, which is, I think, really cool.
Hmm.
And I don't want to spoil too much, but for the future, we have
Hmm.
plans to have even more players and even more than 2 teams inside the game
Oh,
to have a
wow.
true battle royale experience.
Wow, yeah, that is cool. You have a massive game of Apex Legends board game.
Yeah, how cool is that, right?
That would be pretty cool. So I know that the game comes with dioramas, and I want you to
Yeah.
tell me
Oh
more
my
about
gosh.
those because I've never
Mm,
seen a component quite like this included in a board game in this way.
I'm
So
really
yeah,
happy you
tell me
say
about these.
that. Okay, so as I said, we're avid war gamers
Hmm.
and hobbyists, and we wanted to have something in the game that will reflect the uniqueness of each legend when it's taken straight out of your box.
Hmm.
Also, we really wanted to have a card holder, so we just kind of merged it into one item.
Hmm.
So inside each premium box with your legend, also inside the core box, there will be 4 smaller boxes. Um, you will find a diorama, which will be a wonderful 10 by 15 centimeter piece that will reflect the character of your legend, and you will be able to place your legend on it along with all its components.
That's cool.
And yeah, and what's even cooler is that during the game, you will be able to use it as a card holder. So it's not just a piece of plastic that is there for your viewing pleasure, but it's also useful for the game. We're really proud of this one, and I think it will look really great on your tables.
Yeah. It's cool too that it can be used, that it's not just there as like some visual fluff. It actually has a
Yeah,
purpose within the game. I think that's a really nice touch.
exactly.
So you mentioned this a little bit ago, but just we're talking about different modes. So right now it's just deathmatch, right? Or
Yeah.
what can you tell us a little bit about any other modes that might become available, or just there will be more modes available? What little inside bits can you give us?
Okay, so I can just go a little bit into this topic
Okay.
at that moment. I don't want to spoil too much. So yes, there will be more modes. Some of them will be directly connected with stuff that's loved by Apex fans. So hello there, Nessie. Uh, yeah.
Okay, okay.
And we will definitely want to introduce more than deathmatch, especially that Apex Legends as a video game is also constantly evolving.
Right.
And with a physical product, obviously we have limitations to keeping
Mm-hmm.
up. We cannot just publish a patch for a board game.
Yeah.
But what we can do is regularly publish expansions and new modes for the game, and this is something that we definitely want to do. And there will be several modes available in the core box and more in the expansion boxes that will be available on Kickstarter and afterwards. And I think something also worth mentioning is that in the organized play, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
or competitive module, there will also be variations of the playthrough modes tailored so that they fit the organized play
Okay.
structure.
Okay. Thank you for that little inside look there. You gave us a little extra, which I think everyone appreciates. So,
My
are we
pleasure.
gonna learn any more about Apex Legends, the board game, before the campaign launches?
Oh,
Or
yes.
okay, so this video is not the only thing that people are gonna get.
Well, I hope not. Definitely, we have a lot more stuff planned for your viewing pleasure, and hopefully, you'll be joining us, Paula.
Well, we might be able to arrange that if maybe you'll let me play the prototype of the game.
I think that can be arranged.
Okay, great. I'm gonna check out Wraith because she is my favorite legend. But
Oh,
okay, is she gonna be able to jump through portals, appear in different locations on the board like she can in the video game?
yes, she will. She's the most mobile legend we have currently. She's just great. It's one of my favorite ways of playing as well. I just love
Awesome.
that you can, open that portal and jump on a different corner of the map, and your opponents were thinking, "Hey, hey, we're behind the corner. We're
Like,
safe. There's no line of sight," and
you thought you
in
were
your
safe.
face.
Yeah, but here I am.
Exactly. Our dev teams, they've made sure that each legend plays and feels
Mhm.
in the tabletop game with the same emotions, the same experience as you have in the video game. Has been our top priority since the beginning, many, many, many months ago. And I think after having played video game
Mhm.
and the tabletop game quite a lot, that we were able to achieve this.
Awesome. Thank you so much for watching this Q&A about Apex Legends, the board game. And Jacob, thank you so much for being willing to answer all of my questions.
My pleasure, Paula.
Y'all stay tuned because it looks like we're going to have some more videos ready for you soon. And you can follow the Kickstarter page for Apex Legends, the board game, also linked in the description below, and be among the first to grab the best loot.